On today's podcast, our guest is Lyrical Travisty. Peace, brother. How are you?
How you doing today, my man?
I'm good, sir. Life is good. Through all things that are going on in life, things could be worse. I've dealt with worse than what I'm going through right now. So, and it's not really going through nothing. It's just it's a everyday thing. It's just part of life, dealing with it, getting through it. How about yourself?
Same here. Just taking everything day by day. Was grateful I woke up this morning. You know what I mean? Just grateful for life. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
100.
Yes,
100.
sir. Six, how are you, sir?
I'm good, bro. Just mastering my craft, trying to be better every day.
Every day, man. Every day. I love it. All right, sir. So, Lyrical Travesty, where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Okay, what we're at in
West Philadelphia, Cows Creek area of the city.
word. So, when did you get into hip hop?
Well, I got into hip hop when usually at a young age, about 13. I started taking it serious about 16.
Okay, okay. When did you write your first rhyme?
About 16.
Okay, that
Early
was the
on.
first rhyme. All right.
Just trying to, figure, just say whatever was on my mind at the moment.
Okay, word. So you wrote your first rhyme at 16. Who were your early influences with hip hop?
Jay-Z, Wu-Tang, uh so many of that era. My man Redman, I used to listen to him a lot.
Yeah.
Um, who else? Busta Rhymes. Um, you know what I mean? Whoever, whoever was popping at that time, I was pretty much listening to them. Even if people didn't know who they was, I tried to keep my ear to the underground scene too, because you know what I mean. Everybody got a voice. You know what I mean. You never know who's coming next.
Word. You sound like you got a nice, I guess, spread out and vast array of influences with that.
Oh yeah, most
So
definitely.
come from that generation of when hip hop had like a variety of artists that were kind of like shining at the same time.
Hmm.
So what how you describe like the sound that you create, the type of music you make?
But honestly, I call it makes really just honest music. Just literally, I talk about whatever's going on at the time. In a way, it's like that's the best truth. Like,
Right.
all right, like in Philly we call it bitten. Like you're saying truthful things, but you're saying it in a funny way. Like
Right.
that's the best way I could say it. You know what I'm saying? Just be open and honest. Don't like how all right you sometimes you may say certain things around certain people that you can't say around other people. But then when you to yourself, you just say what you keep it honest and just say whatever's on your mind. That's what I try to do with my music right there. Just say whatever's on my mind.
That's dope. That's dope. Uh, any noteworthy producers you have any interest in working with or
Um,
have worked with?
I mean, I love to work with anybody. The greats, Timberland, Swiss Beats. Who else? Any of the the newer guys, Metro Boomin.
Right.
Uh, I mean, I mean, whoever is making the type of sound we can come together and make something special. I'm down to work with you. Names and all that don't really make a difference to me. It's more about your talent and your passion and how much you're into your craft.
Dope. Dope.
Do you have a Mount Rushmore of MCs?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I have to throw my man Jay up there because like whatever people say about him, I look at it as like, yeah, but my man got that. He got that music that inspired a lot of people. You got to throw Nas up there. Um, hmm. I'll say the two guys that's holding it down right now. You got to throw Kendrick and J Cole up there.
Okay.
Um, let's round it off with the females. I have to throw Foxy Brown. She's one of my favorites. That's my top
Dope.
five.
All
Dope.
right. When did you start? What was the question? When did you start doing shows? When did you feel comfortable enough to start doing shows?
I started mostly doing shows after I got out of high school. Well, I mean, before it was just a little bit difficult because I wasn't working then, so I didn't have any money, so I could travel to do a show or set up a show or anything like that. Um, and it was through work that I met up with a buddy of mine. Me and him, we don't really talk any further. His name was Phantom. He helped me out a great deal with a lot of my music, but me and him had a falling out. But that's neither here or there. Um, I started doing shows with him, and mostly my like shows I was doing was like it was like here and there. It wasn't very consistent, but mostly I started doing more shows through him, and also my other mentor, King Bryce. Um, I did a few shows in Brooklyn. I did Brooklyn Unity Fest. Yeah, so it was building up over time. Also, I started doing shows too with my with a cousin of mine. We had a joint venture. It was a pop music group. Proof or with the pop stuff for Proof of Purpose music group, and it was just it was a short-lived situation, but you know, I mean, I don't know. I really can't pinpoint an age. I would say about 19, between 19 and 24. I was like going here and there. It wasn't. I didn't really develop my sound or anything yet. I was still trying to, just learn my way, and just try to learn the game as much as I could.
Do you
Right.
remember the first rhyme that you wrote?
Oh man, no, I'll be honest with you, I can't. I really have I have a lot of unreleased music, and I have a lot of stuff that because it was a one. I mean, because it was like my writing process is up and down because I could write maybe a couple of songs in a few months, but then when there's like real projects involved and different things is going on, somebody might be struggling with a verse or something like that. So you're trying to help them as well as you got to do your obligations as well. You know what I mean on the project. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean. I really don't. I can't. I'll be honest with you. I can't remember the first rhyme I ever wrote.
All right, cool. What about one of the dopest rhymes you ever wrote? Do you remember one of those 16s?
Ah, yeah. I can remember them 16s.
Can you repeat it?
My favorite one. Um, I don't do battles because I don't like to write. I know I don't do battles because I don't like to fight fair. But I was up bars with older shit with white hair in a rocking chair, still rocking the mic. I'm a nobody gunning for that popular hype. If I get the proper cosign before I got a gold grind in no time, I turn my fucking name into a gold mine. My palm stay itching. I need to touch a lot of paper. Can I get a witness? All I got is a lot of haters. Where's the love at? It don't exist here. This year, make it cry, baby. Shed this big tear. To all the rapid liars, plug it with a pacifier. My style AK-47 rapid fire. My flow is influential. Everything I rap inspires. You try to ride on me, I have to flat your tires, go right in your stash, siphon your gas. If I cut your brakes off, you'll be likely to crash. How I am to this day, I was like in the past. Now I spit ignorant shit with my trifling ass. Nigga, listen what I got to say. I'm on my grind today. When I pitch, I destroy like Roy Holiday. I see these niggas switch spit bars. But you know what I'm saying? It's that verse is like 3 minutes long now, but that's off the top of the head.
The whole verse is 3 minutes long,
It's 3 minutes long,
just like that. You go all the way through.
all the way through.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I did
crazy.
it
remind
off
me of my
of
days.
it was off of I mean if you like I can send you the link to it. It was off of the Meek John. He came straight up right when he came straight out of jail, he was dropping freestyles, but I think it was called Ice Cream Freestyle. He did his own Wu Tang joint. It was like a Wu Tang remix, Ice Cream and shit. So I took that beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody was digging that joint. But that's just one of my favorite rhymes I've ever written.
Okay. Who are some of the guys around Philly that people haven't heard of besides yourself that are good coming out of Philadelphia?
Oh man, it's a lot of guys. Hmm, that's a good one.
I'm getting
Hmm,
good at this shit, man. I just want you to know that I'm getting good at this shit.
that's what's up. Yeah, man, you doing your thing, man. I've been rocking with you for a long time, bro.
I
You know
appreciate
what I'm
it.
saying? You know, I appreciate anybody that supports me in any way because I mean, don't nobody owe you nothing, but it's always good when your people show you love. You know what I'm saying? In
Facts.
whatever way.
Facts.
young brothers. Well, I mean, I've really been kind of out the loop like for right now, but I pay attention to, brothers like Jack Frost. I pay attention to brothers, what I'm saying, that's been doing it for a long time. Black De Niro, what I'm saying? People don't know these names unless you're from Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? These guys I don't even know personally, but I watch from afar. I see what they're doing. You got Sandman. These people won't become mainstream or anything like that. But saying the people that really follow hip hop, that's into the Philly hip hop scene, you respect these brothers for the work they've put in over the years. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just that's the only guys I could think up off top, like De Niro. What I'm saying? They old head players, but they've been underground, putting in their work, putting out their music, and what I mean, or whatever projects they got going on. You know what I mean? Shout out to them.
If you could change something about hip hop, what would it be?
Um, mm, Violence,
Violence.
the violence, because um, I firmly believe, and whether some may agree, some may not, that you become the kind of person that you listen to, what the information you digest in your system all the time. Subliminally, it goes into your conscience, and you know what I'm saying. And when you're of a young, impressionable mind, it develops who you going to be, your character. You know what I'm saying. If you keep having negative influences and keep hearing the same shit all the time, you might do the stuff that you're listening to. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just listening to, oh, that's just entertainment.
Right.
Yeah, but to your favorite artist, you may think, oh, he really da 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 da, based on his background and story. But I mean, honestly, it would be the violence and how women, it's like how women have to be portrayed to get attention in the industry.
Sexuality and stuff.
Because it's like, it's not, I put it like this, we've seen people like Lauryn Hill win at the highest level. They didn't have to do none of the things that you see women doing, twerking. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, yeah, we like watching that shit, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? What message that send to little girls? You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your mom don't want to see nothing like that on TV. She's like, oh, why she got to present herself that way? But what I mean? It is what it is. Like, it's a male dominated industry. So women got to do what they got to do to try to win, you know what I mean, in a male dominated industry. So, what I mean? I would say violence, because that's the thing about it. Is the thing about how many people probably got killed to certain songs, like for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Because
think
of
it's I think it's dope you alluded to like the women aspect of it, because you familiar with Tierra Whack?
yes, yes, um, very familiar with. Well, I'm not gonna say very familiar with Terry White, but I definitely know that name. I
Yeah.
know she's definitely making moves out here. Shout out to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Holding
definitely.
Philly down.
And she's an outlier when it comes to like just doing her own thing and not really following the trends and being over sexualized and stuff like that. And she's a spitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Salute to
And
her.
that's the thing too. Like, what I'm saying, having they don't really, if you think about it, they don't really like lyricists like that in the mainstream industry. They want you to dumb down your message and basically just say everything that you're saying is just toxic and just, it's not really good for you. Like the messages itself,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of it is because the market, well, it's commercialized now. It's way more commercialized than it was when I was younger. I don't know
Mhm.
how old you are, but I know when I was a shorty, hip hop was still kind of like in its developmental stages, so there was a lot of experimentation and sound, and that goes back to like all the rappers were being a little bit more creative. You had a room for Busta Rhymes, and you had room for Wu-Tang, and you had room for the Roots. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And now it's like it's a formula now. So like somebody who actually has something to say, they can do it. But like Kendrick dropped an album that's not really doing the numbers that the mainstream would like to see him do because of his brand being so big. But he's got a message, so people are kind of like, I don't want to hear that.
Right.
And they rather hear somebody talk about blowing somebody's brains out and getting to the bag and slapping some
Exactly.
ass. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I like them songs too. I'm not gonna say that I haven't partied to them. Or I haven't sat down and smoked one to one. Like it's a lot of music like that I like. That the messages are terrible, but I love the songs. The songs I grew up off of. So
Right.
what I mean. I don't mean to contradict myself. But at the same time, we should always just monitor what we intake. You know what I'm saying? We monitor the food we eat. You know what I'm saying? We should monitor the things we listen to and the things we watch on television because it all goes to our subconscious. You know what I mean?
Right. Some balance. Create some balance.
Create balance always. Yeah.
Are you a book reader?
Uh. I'm a reader, but I'm not really a book reader. But I read all types of information, little tidbits. Like I would say, like I like to just gather information, so I can formulate opinion on things outside of just like did I read this book, that book? Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I probably haven't read no more than maybe 5 or 6 books in my life. Like seriously, it's like heavy books, like something that's something over 150 pages, 200 pages, 500 pages. Yeah, I'm not really heavy into books.
Okay. Do you have kids?
Yes, I have one daughter.
One daughter. So how
Yes.
is that as a guy who is into the hip hop scene? Are you able to? How old is she?
Well, she'll actually be 7 coming up on July 1st.
Okay, so she got some
Um,
she got some time there.
So I mean, I honestly, I just try to be mindful of what I say because I've said some crazy things about women in song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do too.
it happens. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you gotta realize, that God forbid when you leave this earth, you know what I'm saying? This is the message that you left for the world. Then you never know if your daughter might discover, like, damn, my dad really think like that. Like, oh, that's fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be mindful what you put on these songs, because
Legacy.
that's your track record. That's your legacy. Like, you know. But I just try to, I try to make things that my goal is like when I try to I've made music before is okay, I may have said this over here, but I try to balance it out and try to make music keep everybody to listen to. Because if you try to be more universal, you get more listeners instead of just making one type of sound.
Right.
And you're just stuck to that kind of artist.
In your opinion, does the Philadelphia radio scene support hip hop artists well enough out there?
Um yeah, and
Because
that
Philly has always
it's
been
just
known for
it's like
spitters.
but it's politics in it too. Like, you know what I mean? And if you cutting that check, yeah, you'll get spins. If you know somebody, you're getting them spins. You know what I'm saying? But that's all it really comes down to is how much you willing to spend. If you're really willing to make a major sacrifice and really, just with the hip hop scene, taking a major risk too, because there's no guarantee that you can win. You know what I mean? Just paying for a bunch of spins, a bunch of bloggers, and try to get this, the streams and all that stuff. Get
Right.
on different platforms, but I mean, feel it. Everybody's in business. Everybody's here to do what they got to do to pay their bills. So what I mean, I feel as though under business and negotiations and yeah, I mean, the Philly radio scene does support its artists. So, what I mean? Now, I feel as though they should support, those that can't pay this based on, oh, I like this person's record. You know what I mean? He got this project out, man. I'm gonna throw him a spin, regardless if he paid me or he knew somebody that knew somebody. You know what I mean? But that's how the game goes. Like it's all about who you know. You know what I'm saying? And try to work your angles, trying to get your music heard.
I think the modern radio setup being corporate, it kind of it's more of a private venture now for these corporations. So they're in bed with a lot of these labels. That's why they played like they for the last 20 or so years, they've been consistently playing like the hot 8 songs in rotation, and they might pepper in a couple of new songs here and there. So the new version of radio would necessarily be it would more or less be contrived. It's all fabricated now. So the alternative would probably be like playlists, being on Spotify, being on iTunes, being, you know what I'm saying, making a playlist, being a part of a playlist, or having somebody curate a playlist. But I think the real money grab is having somebody who has a reputation to curate a playlist that'll feature your song on there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I forgot the guy's name. He was college kid. He started a playlist on Spotify, and it caught on amongst a bunch of people in his university, and they spread it and they shared it. And Spotify took that and ran with it. This is before Spotify really popped off with the bread, and it became Rap Caviar.
Oh, wow. That's
And
decent. Right.
but they never cut him the check for what he curated. They just took what he created and made a brand out of it. So now artists are like thirsty to get their songs, because you know Rap Caviar is an ever evolving playlist. Songs make it, songs get dropped off of it, and that's pretty much where a lot of artists are making their breaks at, where like new artists are really shining because of that. And alternative to that would be SoundCloud, where SoundCloud is where fans are just discovering new music. You know what I'm saying? And they're sharing those links, and that's where you get your XXX Tentaciones and all of those young guys, Lil Uzi, yeah, blowing up on there because the fans are making those decisions. And but because streaming is, because we're in the Wild West right now when it comes to like music distribution. Like a lot of labels are really trying to buy stock in some of these streaming services because they know that they don't have any more leverage when it comes to artists being hot no more. Now you can literally control the trajectory of your career in this music game by just strictly being consistent, having a strong network game. Labels need you to be available to them with the already established fan base.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why these streaming services matter to them. That's why these record labels are trying to buy into these streaming services so they can get like the first look at who's hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, because if like let's say Def Jam, Universal is bought into, they spent their money and they bought into SoundCloud. Well, guess what? They know already based on the algorithm who's hot. All they got to do is just contact you directly, hit you in the inbox, or contact your people. You know what I'm saying? Versus having an intern or A&R scour through their whole, through those playlists and figure out what people are listening to. So it's a dirty game.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very political, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all results. It's a results based business, and really, for real, it's a quarter to quarter business.
Yeah.
Like you be hot first 3 months, cold next 3 months, like dying. Like
that's because the attention spans are shorter.
But yeah,
songs don't even have like 3 verses no more.
Yeah, nah, nope.
It'd be a verse, it'd be 2 verses and a hook.
Yeah, real simple, in and out. You know what I mean? That's what people need to start bringing back. They just be like, yo, I'm doing a joint 3 verses. What? Oh shit! Like, you know what I'm saying? That could be a marketing tactic right there, because like you rarely hear that anymore. So like, oh, are you gonna drop 3 verses on it? I don't know. No, I'm just talking, but
I mean, you're onto something though, because like the average fan is like surprised if they get like 16 songs on the project now, because the average album is like 10 songs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they feel like it's a treat to get 16, 20 songs. Back in the day, that was standard.
Yeah.
Artists was giving you their whole heart. They was pouring everything they had into an album back in the day. Nowadays, you
do double albums.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 30 songs, yo. But
the way that music is currently structured, do you believe that it's based on popularity and or talent?
I believe the popularity is manufactured, um, based on who you're with, that that knows how to create a fan base for you. If you don't have a fan base, like you can already have a fan base, but then um hmm, I think it's a combination of both. You got to have some type of talent to keep somebody's attention for at least 2-3 minutes. Um, but then a lot of it is the packaging, the person with the clothes that they wear, the features that that person lands on with certain songs. Um, I mean, I think it's just timing and preparation, timing, and get the opportunity. I mean, you one of the lucky ones. You made it. You got you on TV. You on everybody. Everybody listening to you. So what I mean. I think it's a little bit of both. What I mean. You can't pinpoint one thing, because each artist has different qualities that make them somebody that people pay attention to.
Do you think that Lauryn Hill was talented?
Oh, absolutely. She was one of the greatest. One of the greatest that ever did it. Just as a songwriter, as a songwriter, singer, rapper. Hell yeah, absolutely.
How many current artists right now do you believe can do the stuff that she did?
That she's doing. Mm. I right now probably about 5 to 10. It's a very small percentage. And I can't even name the artist offhand, but it just felt like maybe like a small percentage, like maybe about 5 to 10. And
Uh,
I feel as though they don't even do everything that she brings to the table. They have pieces that's their gifts, that what she did herself, that other people have, qualities that they have. But like I said, it's all about the consistency and staying with it, staying active.
I
yeah,
don't,
that's talent. Go ahead, Six.
I was gonna say, I don't think that there's an incentive to be that way anymore though, because like the goal now is to just get hot, get paid, and get out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
back then it was about really, it's like back then it was getting on. You know what I'm saying? It was about being, you know what I'm saying, being the best. It's like you can't out rap me. You can't, your songs ain't doper than mine. Nowadays it's like everybody collabing with everybody. They trying to get in the studio with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's a love fest, but at the same time, they know that their time is limited because the algorithm speaks to that, and the attention span of the average fan speaks to that. Like right now, record labels are pressuring artists to have a song that can go viral on TikTok. How do you determine whether or not your song is going to go viral on TikTok? How do you know as an artist? You're not thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? But to get that deal, the label is like requiring you to at least be able to have proof of concept that your song or your album has that type of magnitude before they even fuck with you. It's a different game.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so it's like, to be truly talented is a gift and a curse, because talent is not even a requirement anymore.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just availability. Are you available to do what we ask you to do so we can get paid together?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Now it seems like you. I think you guys probably said this already, but I think it's also based on how much of it you can put out for them.
Yep. How
Yeah.
fast so you
Yeah.
can get it off.
How fast? Yep. Speed. Like, the quality is not even. Half the time, you don't even have to have a quality song. You could just, as long as you can
Nope.
just crank them out fast as shit. They don't. They
They
don't.
dropping shit and not even mixing it.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It's a new age. It's like what we think the standard should be, nothing remains the same.
Mm-mm.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You
It's
know,
too easy now.
I used to have a theory on it, right? I used to say they figured it, and I'm not trying to shit on my man. Like, I really think that they were trying to figure out, how can we just put out like shitty material, and will it still sell?
It's
Honestly, I feel like the turning point was my man Soldier Boy, yo. I'm not lying to you.
bro, honestly, you right. And it's not even his fault.
It's
He
not
was a
his
young,
fault, yeah. Like, because I feel like this, my man did make hits, but they figured out how to put out some bullshit and it's sold. Like
They looked at
he
because
probably say that about himself, but whatever.
the industry has this formula. They follow this scheme. All of a sudden, YouTube becomes a thing. You know what I'm saying? And artists are able to record their own music because you can crack software and record your own music. You don't even have to book studio time anymore. All of these things kind of like happen all in the same time. And so it all coalesced. You have this situation where like a young 16-year-old kid whose dad put him, you know what I'm saying, in a position to be able to record his songs and shoot his videos and post it on the internet. He created a revolution for like young artists to bypass the gatekeepers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it just so happened with MySpace was a thing at the time, and everybody who had a MySpace was sharing music. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was a perfect storm of changing the game. It's a gift and a curse because it took the power away from everybody who shouldn't even have that power. And now now to this day, it's 2022, and they still scrambling to try to keep a grasp of what industry is left. You know, the new industry the new industry ain't a building in New York no more.
No,
it ain't a building in California no more. The industry is on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better.
If the fans ain't listening to you, if the listeners, I'll say this, the only downside to it, in my personal opinion, because as long as I've been doing it and from what I've seen, the only downside is the fact that the influencers are white kids. White kids are determining the outcomes.
Yeah.
We don't as a culture, we don't own it like we used to.
But you know, I mean, I hate to say it, like, yeah, we our own people, we know the songs, but we ain't, we're not always going to the shows and going here, and you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, white people, they really are, they are the deciding factor if you get a deal or not. Like it's really that simple.
Yep.
That's interesting that you brought that up, because it's so true. A lot of people forget that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, if you be like, damn, well, how did he get on? Like, he's not as hot as such and such, but you never know how many monthly listeners he got on his Spotify. That's the reason why he got on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. It's a strange dynamic, but again, we live in an internet age, so everything is all inclusive now. Everybody has access.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects that you're working on right now?
Actually, I don't have any current projects I'm working on right now, but I will be working with a friend of mine. His name is Dark Matter. I met him through a buddy of mine, Jason Jordan. I used to work with a few years back. We did a couple of records on his album, and I did a record for a project I was working on that never was released. I don't know if you guys want to check it out. It's called How We Do. Jace Jordan featuring myself. And also we did a song called Ego Trip that was on SoundCloud featuring myself and Jace Jordan. But I met my buddy Dark Matter through Jace Jordan, and we're definitely going to have some new music coming up shortly. But I don't have any projects or dates or anything to really promote at the moment.
Dope. I'm gonna have to check you out.
All right, my next question to you is, where would you rank Scarface as far as MCs? Would he be in your top 10 or would he be in your top 20?
Oh God, I mean, as far as Southern artists, I mean,
not Southern, just MCs.
Just MCs. I mean, I can. All right, I'll be straight up with you. Like, I can only speak on Scarface for so much because he's a little bit older than my generation of music.
Okay.
Because I know people, I know brothers that's more likely in their mid 40s that know Scarface than I do. Because I mean, I'm just about to be approaching 40. I'm 38. So, you know what I'm saying? He's a little before when I was listening to music, but I know Scarface. I would say I as far as consistency and his longevity in the game, easily I'd say I would say top 10. Top 10. But as
Okay.
far as Southern artists, top 5, top 3.
Okay. So I don't separate it when I speak on
I,
hip hop
I
like that.
understand.
It
Okay.
all goes together. I don't separate it. Now here go my next question. Where would you rank Eminem?
Eminem. Mm. See, then that I had a nice little argument with a cousin of mine about Eminem too. Um, I would say top 10 because I hate when people put him top. He's top 2. He's top 1. And I'm like, but this is black culture. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, he like I kind of agree with Lord Jamal when he was talking about he's a guest in the House of Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? But he's a popular artist and he's contributed a lot to hip hop and but I top 10 because
Okay.
it's that's just my perspective on it. Now if as I would put now I hate to say it I know you don't like to separate it but I feel like he's the greatest white rapper we've ever heard. But I mean please somebody show me somebody else that
Yeah,
you know and then
he
everybody that does that style got it from him.
yeah. I mean, the mainstream, yeah. Like if you can't dispute that if you really if you're putting all the pieces in place, you're right.
As far as mainstream goes, yeah, I see that, but I still think copyright is dope.
I think A$AP Rock is dope. Probably
Yeah.
doper than both of them.
Yeah.
I'm not.
A$AP go nuts.
I mean, shoot, you got even brothers like Joyner Lucas, like, but it's based because he looks a certain way and he's from Massachusetts, not a place
Yeah.
where a lot of hip hop artists come from. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of it, and then remember you was talking about before, um, what makes a star, like, and what I mean, him being white has helped his career a lot because he could have that same skill set, be the same rapping motherfucker that he is, and he might not have been as successful if he was a black artist. And that's real because who was the deciding factors of what makes you successful? White people. So they finally had their own
Hero.
their own greatest rapper. There,
Yeah.
yep.
Eminem signing with Dr. Dre was the cheat code because he had the same opportunities Kanye had with like Raucus and all of those other labels. And same like Ye signing with Def Jam Rockefeller was the cheat code. Sometimes it's just lightning in a bottle. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like Eminem was already you can't take away anything from Eminem's skill set. He's got
No.
he's a wordsmith. You
Oh
can
yeah,
tell that
definitely.
he's super serious about his lyricism. He might not necessarily he doesn't have the experiences we have, so therefore they expect him to be the rapper we would find appealing would probably not be fair to him. But to be, you know what I'm saying, if we're really just being pragmatic and just really stripping it all the way down to his bare essentials, I 100% agree with you, bro. He's like, I mean, he's dope. You know what I'm saying? Being a guest in the House of Hip Hop, he would be absolutely impressive on the mainstream. But if he was on any other team, somebody who couldn't put the money behind marketing him the way they marketed him,
Mhm.
people would say he's a dope rapper, but would nobody really examine him in this way?
Right. Right.
Can I make the comparison the same way that Isaiah Thomas said about Larry Bird? He's like
Okay.
Larry Bird when they were balling back in the 80s. Isaiah Thomas sat down at the podium one day and he said if he was a black guy, y'all wouldn't even be saying this about him.
I
Mm.
don't know about all that, bro. I don't know about all that, man, because Larry
But
Bird,
but Larry Bird was cold. But what he was
He was.
he hooped. But what he was saying was that the numbers he was putting up would Ja be making this much of a fuss if he was black. You got Michael Jordan, you got Isaiah Thomas, you got Magic Johnson, you got all those guys. Would Ja be making that big of a fuss if it was just another black guy?
I hate to say it, you could kind of make that same argument with the new young boy Luka Doncic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think though back then, because Larry Bird wasn't too far removed from the generation of predominantly white NBA anyway, though. You see what I'm saying? Like hip hop has always been predominantly black dominant. You know what I'm saying? We've been. This is us.
This is our shit. We invented
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Whereas like Larry Bird come from that lineage. First of all, Indiana is the state that basketball was in, you know, invented. And you know what I'm saying? He's schooled in it. So his play style is his play style. And dude was a beast. You know what I'm
Larry
saying?
Bird was a cold motherfucker, man.
And I think that
cold-blooded.
I think, and I got an uncle who went to high school with Isaiah Thomas, and Isaiah Thomas always been that type of dude where he was real vocal about his opinions on people, and sometimes it's just hate, bro.
Hey, man. You know, and then you know, like the music game, just like sports, man. That shit competitive as shit. Like, you know,
sometimes people are just better than you.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody ain't gonna love you, and that's cool. But
yeah,
you know,
sometimes you just got to give it up to motherfuckers, man. Like,
give them his flowers.
Yeah, I think that'd be the problem, especially like just speaking from experience. You know what I mean? When you good at something or you're confident in who you are, there are other people who just can't. They just can't be happy about that because you know maybe they're just not as good. Oh man, if I was 6'2", I could do that, but you're not 6'2". You have to take what you have and just be good at it in your lane. And Larry Bird was just one of them guys.
I would say this, and just because we're talking ball, like the best measuring stick to even make this argument for Larry Bird is just put him up. I mean, just measure him against Kevin McHale, and you could tell who the real hooper is between the two of them.
Oh, come on, man. That ain't even, come on, stop it.
Boom. You see what I'm saying? Like Larry Bird was the measuring stick for that. You know what I'm saying? You had a bunch of phenomenal black ballers, but you also knew who the trash black ballers were. And that's not to even minimize, because if they played on a professional level, dude, that's better than me.
Yeah.
If we really just getting down to brass tacks.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, right? Because I used to I had an argument with my homie one time. He'd be like, I could beat such and such ball player. I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, one, he pays his bills off of that. You play in the park for free, bro. He plays on a different level, even if you think he's trash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you might see some things about his play style that you probably feel like is weak, but he playing a professional system that's designed around not only the entertainment factor, but the athleticism that's required to compete at that level.
And to your cousin or friend who made that statement, think about it like this. The NBA only houses 450 spots.
Exactly.
So there are only 450 spots guaranteed to those guys that are in the league. And even though the guy on the end of the bench is number 15, if you take him to Hoops Gym or you take him to any gym, I bet he bust your ass.
You're gonna dog him. That's why NBA players go to the Rucker. You know what I'm saying? Kobe used to go to the Rucker. Iverson went to the Rucker. Stephon went to the Rucker. You know what I'm saying?
No. Like I said, go to Hoops Gym in Chicago. Everybody knew when you came to Hoops Gym who you saw. You saw Juwan Howard, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett. You saw all of them in there. And you couldn't be in there trash and be in there playing at Hoops Gym. Man. It was necessary. It was imperative. It was mandatory that you could ball in there.
Gladiator school, bro.
Yeah.
It's like hip hop, bro. It's like going to Subterranean in Chicago. Yeah. You don't go to Sub T and be trash when it's open mic night.
Oh no, they're gonna bully you off.
They're gonna drag you out the back door with the trash.
Yeah. Or motherfuckers will just push you out the way and take the mic and go crazy.
Man,
you cannot sit there and think that because you sit at home and you watch this shit go down and you're watching these guys play that you can beat them. Them dudes can go to any park, any court, anywhere and give you 50. He just so happens to be the weakest dude on that team in that league.
But he was still chosen for that role.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't stop at 14.
But I ain't gonna lie, even the guys you think are trash was probably like really the man of high school. Like you think they trash on the team, but until you square up with them on the court one-on-one and they smoke the shit out of you, like, damn, I didn't know you could do all that. Like, yeah, how you think you get in the league, bro? Like you said, it's only 450 spots. Like
That's it.
It's such a, you know what I mean? It's a small, like you said, it's only what 32 teams in the league, 15 spots on the team. Man, you got to be nice to
You
end
got to
up
be
on
nice.
that team.
All right, they ain't coming down to Best Buy and asking motherfuckers, hey, do you hoop?
Yeah, right.
Look, think
They
about it
already
like
know.
this. Think about it like this. In the course of the playoffs, we have seen a good percentage of these guys get hurt on these teams, right?
Yeah.
You never heard some of these guys that have been coming off the bench getting buckets. Why? Because they at the end of the fucking bench, but they know how to get buckets though.
Yeah.
Reggie Bullock is trash. Okay, you go play him in a one-on-one. You tell me how that work out for you.
He gonna smoke you.
He gonna murder you with layups because he been doing drills the whole time before you go sit on the bench. He ready.
Talk.
That nigga ready. Cocked and loaded.
When you ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
And if you listen to the stuff that Kobe was saying, he was like, man, I would get up and go work out at 4:00 in the morning, go home, rest, lay down, get up, go to the gym at 9:00, go home, rest, get back up and go at 3:00.
Thanks.
Go home and rest. He said, for anybody listen, I done already beat you to the gym twice when most of y'all only get one workout in. He said, I woke up at 4:00 to make sure that I got my first workout in. So if you thinking Kobe gets up like that, think about the guys that's coming off the bench that's still number 15 that might be in there hooping with Kobe, getting up shots. You understand what I'm saying? So for anybody that's thinking that you can just walk into the gym with any of those, and I'll put you like this, I've been in the gym in some of those gyms, and I watch the guys that we think are trash. They will give you buckets.
Oh yeah,
they will give you buckets, and you would go, oh, he missed that shot. He missed that shot. But once he find his rhythm, it's 10 shots straight, and you like, God damn, well, I'm gonna step up on him, and then he hit another one, and then he started talking shit. And you like, yo, okay, I done fucked up. Those guys got there to that level for a reason. They just not there because, like you said, they came from Office Depot or CarMax. Them motherfuckers can hoop.
Yeah, and it's levels to this shit, man.
Yeah, and then a lot of it too is just your fit in the scheme. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're fit in the scheme. You're not the top priority dude, but you know, you still fit in the scheme because you're still on the team.
Right.
It's about, and then we're talking NBA being an industry. It's a commercialized industry. So you might be able to hoop your ass off. Like, it's all about marketing. Are you marketable as well? You know what I'm saying? So many different things that make a star. It ain't just because you're a dog on the court. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got like no personality, if you're a cardboard cutout, but you can hoop your ass off, guess what? You ain't gonna be the superstar on your team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of have to disagree with that. You're right. You're absolutely right in most cases, but look at somebody like Kawhi Leonard. That motherfucker weird as shit, but he can ball his ass off, and he's a superstar, and he got endorsements and all types of shit. He seems very marketable. I think his weirdo is marketable.
I think his agent is dope.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Tim Duncan was another one. Like they called him, what they call him? They called him a machine. He didn't show emotion.
Robot. He's like a robot.
Yeah, they called him a robot.
David Robinson was the same way for a long time.
David Robinson could ball too, though. That motherfucker could ball, bro.
Dude, right. I'm telling you, that was the era, man. It's like, I'm not saying I'm not. There's no knock against these young guys because the NBA is different. They structured different. The rule set has adapted to kind of like, I guess, it's based around safety and keeping their investments from being injured so easily or whatever the fuck. But it's just a different game. It's not as physical as it used to be, so you got to be a little bit more strategic.
But yo, it's funny that you brought up David Robinson, right? Because I was just thinking about just now. I'm like, yo, if David Robinson was an NFL player, he would have been really lit with the whole Admiral shit.
Man.
If you think about the marketing of it, you know what I'm saying? But because he was an NBA player, you know, it was just a nickname. Like,
no, it's because he he was in the Navy and he got drafted out of the Navy.
Facts.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, it worked though, because he ended up with a couple decent pairs of shoes that he had come out and everything. But
that generation was so dope, bro.
so dope, dude. Can you remember? Don't forget that Hakeem Olajuwon was playing.
That's when he was balling for real. They was battling. It wasn't just shooting up 1,000 threes just to get to 100 first. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you had the ball. Battling. You had everybody would contest shots. Everybody was on D. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a one man show. That's why when the original Dream Team was announced, bro, because the American basketball team prior to that was like back in like 84 Olympics.
It was all college athletes at that point, I think. And I think we got blown out a couple times. And it was like, no, we sending the real ones over there now. We not having that no more. They was like, we're not sending college guys no more.
Like they worked out some things. They was wondering whether or not they could use some pro players to play as opposed to just college. And the rules didn't stipulate that they had to be college.
Yeah, but you remember that Dream Team they sent over there, and them dudes lost, and like talent wise, they should have never lost. I thought that was always
like a 2000 or was it 2000 or 2014 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said they couldn't gel together, but that Dream Team when they went, the motherfuckers they let that shit be known. Like we not coming in here to lose no games.
Dude, the first Dream Team.
Sorry about the dog, yo. I stepped outside for a second.
Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, Wayman Tisdale, and Sam Perkins. They was the mains. They were the mainstays. They were all rookies at that time when they went to the Olympics the first time. So they was just fresh out of college.
That's crazy. So that was the original. That was the original Dream Team.
Yeah. Yep. 4 out of 5 of them were Jordan, Ewing, Tisdale, and Perkins.
Okay, so what year was that?
84.
84. Okay, so the Dream Team that was 88 then. Or that 92. Okay,
92 was the big one.
Yeah, because that's when they were saying like they didn't like the way that they was getting blown out and misrepresenting or some shit like that.
Yeah, they made a big deal out of it because the athleticism was just unmatched. But now, man, them European teams in China, boy,
they steadily getting better.
That's because we've been sourcing a lot of their talent to bring here. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like they've groomed a lot of their players to be NBA players.
Yeah. And they're slowly but surely catching to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You can definitely tell. And now if you look across the league, a lot of the European players that are coming over the last 5 to 10 years have been
part of the Olympic.
Yeah, and as far as height too, they're like 6'6" or taller. You know, now you're seeing guys coming over 6'10", 7 feet. They can handle the peel. They can shoot. They can do everything. The game has changed so much, man. The only thing that's different to me is the what do you call it? The dexterity. Like they aren't as strong as they used to be. And I'm not just talking about Europeans. I'm just talking about basketball players. Period. Like it seems like they're weaker. And I don't know if I should say they're not as strong.
I think what it is this go back to the whole evolution thing. It's like you kind of adapt to the play style of the time. Like the reason why they had to be much stronger back then and bulkier, you know what I'm saying, is because it was more physical. But now it's all about finesse. It's all about dexterity. It's all about maintaining some sort of speed and momentum when you're out there on the court, because you got to, you know what I'm saying, they doing suicides in the live game damn near.
Yeah.
So like even Bron, that's why Bron plays, you know what I'm saying, like Bron would have been an old school power forward. You know what I'm saying? But he shoot like a shooting guard. You see what I'm saying? So the flexibility of a player nowadays is more incumbent on making sure that they can, you know what I'm saying, distribute and execute. You know what I'm saying? It's all about stats nowadays. Everybody want to get the quadruple double and shit.
A little birdie told me once upon a time when LeBron came in the league, when he first came in, they said he was shooting 30-foot jump shots, but they told him to stop. I don't know if that's true, but I heard that he used to take a lot of jump shots in practice from 30 feet.
Man, this nigga so cold. And his just sometimes he's sitting on the bench, just hitting shots from the just sitting out there, just hitting everything, not even like banking, just net, just sitting out there, just fucking around.
Yeah,
shooting from the stands and shit like that, hitting them. So I'm saying, like, yeah, he's gifted, man. And it's crazy though, because like you think about how like Golden State got this reputation. Bron is playing his position. He just don't, you know what I'm saying? He just, if he really wanted to play the way he grew up playing, the way he was raised to play,
we would see a different player.
We'll see somebody else. But he's doing what he's told. He's doing what's recommended, I should say.
I think he's doing. I think he's just using the whole tool belt. I'm only saying that because, like, again, from what I was told, dude can do more if he really wanted to.
Yeah, he could overdo it.
And in the last couple of years with him being on the Lakers, you kind of seen him stepping out, taking a 30-foot jump shot, shooting from the logo. They called him Logo Bron. And someone was like, yo, hey, not for nothing, bro, but just so you know, dude came in the league doing that. They just told him the league wasn't ready for that. And then all of a sudden you see Steph Curry show up and just blast it wide open doing that. But they was like, dude could already do it.
Yeah, it's like it's a whole generation of that though. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole generation of that. If you take into account like Bron being the captain of his team, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to facilitate accessibility for the rest of his guys. If Bron was really just to go into his tool belt and do everything he's capable of doing, most of his teammates probably wouldn't get their looks like they should. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. Very true.
Because he got a dominant personality. He's super competitive in that way. And I'm not even the biggest Bron fan, but I'm the guy that I
gotta salute. Yeah, I gotta salute
it is.
When you dope at what you do, I have to salute that shit. I'm not gonna deny nobody that their gift and talent. I ain't no hater. Exactly. I can be jealous and envious, but I would never let it turn into something negative. I'll always use it for inspiration. And I ain't jealous. I ain't jealous and envious of LeBron. Like, I am not 6'9", 260 pounds. I know that.
And the agility that he possesses, like, unmatched.
Ridiculous.
Like, but I'm not gonna lie, just for me, like LeBron, the boy is amazing, man. Just for the fact that is into his age, 38 now? 36?
Yeah, 38.
He still takes, you know, his workout regimen very serious. He puts millions of dollars into his body, and you know, and then I'll put it like this, for him to keep it consistent that he's had for so long, even going year after year after year into the finals and going deep into those finals, game 6s, game 7s. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body, man. You know, a lot of people didn't never reach those heights of how he's played throughout his career, and yet he's still, you know what I mean? He's still
like, he's in that class of athlete, you know what I'm saying? He's a, you know, that's why he always you get these comparisons with his name and Jordan, his name and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? You got these, sometimes he's a one of one in his era. You know what I'm saying? You think about it, he came in when Carmelo came in. You know what I'm saying? He came up with Carmelo. You know what I'm saying?
He has that Kobe work ethic.
Man. And that's the thing, man. It's like that's an anomaly. People think it's just the NBA just picking superstars. Yeah, they picking them, but sometimes they get it wrong, bro.
Yeah.
But when they get it right, it's on the athlete. It's on the athlete. You know what I'm saying? If you really want it that bad, you're gonna put everything you can into it, because that competitive nature don't just die.
No, and LeBron has had a dope image too. You don't hear much shit on his name.
You know, his wife ain't out there embarrassing him and shit. He just, you know what I'm saying, living life. You know what I'm saying, being dope.
But yo, it's so weird sometimes. You ever notice how like somebody could be all that in college, get to the league, trash, or not even that. They was in college, their career wasn't like that. It was okay, and then they get to the NBA, just take over, just take off. Like, whoa, we didn't even see this coming. Like,
perfect comparison. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish.
Yeah, but nah, I don't know. I was thinking this one ball player. His name was Jimmer Fredette. I never forgot.
I remember him, Sacramento.
BYU. He was all that in college. Come to the league, trash.
Disappeared after his like second or third year.
The O'Bannon brothers.
Yeah, them too. They was lit in college, and then
Hey man,
the league ain't the same.
it's very simple. Sometimes your game doesn't translate to the league, and sometimes it just does. You know, some guys are great at being college players, while others are great. You know, they're only doing the college system just because the way the NBA set it up, they have to have that 1 year of college eligibility. You know, they're already ready for the league. It's the same way in boxing. It's a lot of guys that go through the amateur program, and when you see them, you go like, yo, he shouldn't even be here. But he's only doing it so he can get himself together before he takes that jump in that league. And when when you see him in a professional ring, like a Devin Haney or a Jerron Boots Ennis from Philadelphia, now you look at them, you're going, holy shit.
Right. Where did this talent come from?
Yeah, because
they soaring, right?
Yeah, especially when you look at Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is a fucking monster. Don't nobody want to fight him. They gotta go pull people out of graveyards to go fight dude.
That shit wild, man.
Hey, talent. Let's go, the conversation we had prior. Talent is one of those things where when it's nurtured and it's groomed properly, man, you can develop somebody who's probably who's going to be a legend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or their legend is going to be written when they're already done doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's so many examples of this, bro. And it's like it's in music, it's in athletics. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy though that's how that works for us in our community though, man. Because
sometimes it just has to be, like you said, it just has to be nurtured right. It just has to be nurtured, and then when it's your turn, you just capitalize on that shit.
Step into the role. Step out there into the role, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like what I was saying about like with my team at work and me. Like I have to I'm stepping into the chaos. I know what outcome I want, and this is just another one of those challenges. It's the same thing with them. They know that I don't like I can just get out here and do this job and get these checks, but I want a ring. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in that private club of people who actually did that. I've accomplished all these other things. Let's see if I can accomplish this, because this is what separates me from the rest of my peers.
Yeah.
Whereas,
and it's the same way in sports, right? You got some guys who want to go get the ring, but you got some guys who are just playing for the bag. Like they only there for the bag. They don't care about winning.
Right. They just want to, live better.
Yep. I'm gonna hoop at a high level long enough to get me 2 big bags, and then y'all can say whatever y'all want about me.
And that's what it's about, man. It's about legacy. It's about what your intentions are.
Yep.
And I can't fault a man for not wanting more than somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like my man James Harden when you talk about somebody that just don't really care about. I hate to say it, and I'm a Sixers fan, like to the death, but like you said, look at James Harden compared to LeBron James. James Harden, he's 32. He ain't take care of his body. Now he looking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
And it's just like you said, and then he, like you say, balled at a high level. Just become MVP. You know what I mean? And he accomplished that. But as far as the playoffs, he flake out. So he's a great player, but he's not a great all-time player.
He locked in on his financial goal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's all about what your priorities are, you know what I mean?
And some people look at that and they go, yo, that's weak, or that you playing yourself down. Maybe that was just his goal to get to them 2 big bags. Maybe he don't care about winning. Maybe he don't care about winning championships.
He also he understood the odds. You know what I'm saying? He understood that, you know what I'm saying, if you one of 450. You know what I'm saying? And the way that that industry is set up, it's already competitive, but it's also engineered and marketed in a way where you want people to view your product. You either hot now and maintain that heat, or you just let the game play out how it's gonna play, and you just keep on getting your checks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'll say this to anybody that's listening: if you're gonna play one of these sports, any of them, make sure you work out continuously, because if you don't, your body will hit a wall, and everything goes downhill. Everything,
And
everything
another
goes
thing is
downhill.
sports injuries are way more severe than like your average injury because athletes age faster physically. So
Mhm.
you got to maintain some sort of stability when it comes to working out and stuff like that, because you break a bone, it may not heal the way you need it to heal properly, because they're going to try to rapid heal you just to get you back in the game or get you back in the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sports medicine is dope and you know what I'm saying, helping you recover quickly, but did you get the proper time to actually mend yourself? You know what I mean?
Right.
Absolutely. And back to going back to Bron say I spend $2 million on my body, man, to keep my body right. I'm not doing this just to be playing around. Like I'm taking this very, very serious, and I want to be able to play here at a high level. And now it looks like,
Dedicated.
yeah, very dedicated, very, very dedicated. And for a guy to be 6'9", 260 pounds or whatever they say he is, and be around at year 18 or 19, the last guys we seen do that was Kevin Garnett
Mm-hmm.
and Kobe Bryant. And they
Very
were serious.
competitive player.
They were serious about this shit.
Right. Because you know what it is? Because they understood the long game of it. It's like, all right, well, you know what I mean? You figured it out. All right, I can make this and this and this. And you know what I mean? Yeah, I want to win some championships too, but you know, I want to get the most I can out of this game. You know what I mean? Since they let me in here, get the most you can out of it.
I'll
Word,
say
big
this,
bird.
and this is a question I got for you. All right, so we're talking about how you know, like these anomalies are applying themselves for the longevity of whatever their end game is, what their ultimate goal is, right? And in the music industry, like the example would have been like the Grammy or something like that, but I don't think a lot of them are really caring so much about those trophies anymore. But a lot of them are now just trying to find ways to extend themselves outside of music, because they know that the lifespan of an artist is short lived. You got somebody like Kanye, who I personally believe single-handedly changed the direction of the rap game by
Okay.
changing the face of a label that didn't even want to sign him in the first place.
Mm.
So he kind of like, I think he opened the floodgate for a lot of artists to say, damn, that's a different way to do it. Who do you see as being an example of that in current form? Like you could say like Drake probably he followed that wave. But like, can you see any other artists that you look at, that you listen to and be like, you know what, this person is really taking their own lane?
I I got somebody, and you know, well, I really don't like to, you know, promote this person based on, you know, what he's about. But I used to always say all the time, I was like, I think 6ix9ine is a genius. I think he's a marketing genius.
How
Based on
dare you mention that name on this podcast?
I hate to say it, I didn't mean to, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, it's just his music, business and music, how
Right.
he strategized his way into the industry was very brilliant. Like it, you know, he made you pay attention to him, even if you didn't give a fuck about what he was talking about.
I think one comes along ever so often anyway. And I agree with
Yeah,
that. Some of them are a little bit like, I think like, and I don't even think it has anything to do with talent. I just think it has something to do with desire more than anything. It just so happened that if you possess the talent to go along with that desire, then you probably become, you know what I'm saying, what I consider to be like legend status in that way. Like Hove was that in the 90s. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Hove came out of nowhere for a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, with reasonable doubt.
Absolutely.
And that didn't even necessarily sit well next to what Biggie was doing, because Biggie was still living and breathing at the time. And so everybody always made those comparisons. But anybody, if you knew, you knew. If you was there, you had to be there to understand what Hove was doing. Because when he came out with In My Lifetime, then you kind of like, okay, he ain't just some one-off you know what I'm saying, rapper.
Yeah.
But
true.
it's like another one was Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Snoop,
absolutely.
the most recognizable face in hip hop.
Shout out to Snoop. Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like there is no Busta Rhymes is another one. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
One of one.
legendary.
You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's like ever so often somebody like that comes out and they just do it their way. They do it their way. They just do it the way they know how to do it, and they just entrench themselves in it. You know what I'm saying? So like in current form, like I said, Kanye is the one that he broke the code because he has never deviated from what his plan was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of artists become legacy acts and they start adopting other artists' aesthetics. But dude has always been the influence.
Can we say J. Cole is one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Of his generation, yes.
I want to say J. Cole, but I just see I don't see his consistency in that way. I see his ambition, but I don't see his consistency in that way.
Okay.
I think I would say Kendrick more than Cole.
I mean, I was thinking either one of them, but
Kendrick has always deviated from the blueprint of what hip hop wanted him to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick would be the one man outcast.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
mean, well, I do like Kendrick too, but I have to say Cole because you gotta look like this with Kendrick. He's always had all industry support with every project he's ever had out. Cole did it without any industry support.
He
He
has
pulled
been
it down on his own name.
he has been co-signed by Hove the whole way.
Oh yeah,
that's a fact.
You
I
see
mean,
what I'm saying?
Kendrick's co-signed by Dr. Dre. What's the difference?
The difference is when I'm talking about like the momentum of an artist doing it the way they want to do it.
Okay.
Like like every album that an artist produces possesses like an imagination outside of what the industry is currently doing.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? When Hove dropped album after album, he was dominating summers. He was influencing the game.
Yeah.
He had it on lock.
Busta Rhymes was doing the same shit when he had his run.
Mm-hmm.
You did what I'm saying? Snoop was doing the same shit when he had his run. Ye,
because he just dropped
goes without saying. When Kendrick dropped, shit stops. Whether it's good or not, shit stops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When Drake had his moment, I don't think he can do it again. I don't think he can do it again only because the game is shifting and Drake has always been the type to kind of like dibble and dabble in what everybody else is doing. But like when it comes to like just being that, he's like that one-off anomaly to say, you know what, this is what hip hop really is. This is what rap is really about. I see what y'all doing over there on the commercial side, but yeah, I got these people that's backing me, but watch me drop something that you ain't even ready to hear.
Yeah, Drake's definitely a unicorn in his rap shit, bro.
Yeah. It's just this is a question I had because we've been pinpointing like the unicorns and sports. You know what I'm saying? The ones who actually like influence the game, the ones who actually come out and they are the stars because they got.
So where do we put Wale then?
Underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Because his pen game is unmatched. Like for his generation, his songwriting, his song making. I just don't think his image matches what the status quo would consider to be superstar.
Because he's been consistent too, right?
Yeah, he just complains too much in public.
Yeah,
that's what destroys his momentum, his opportunity. He don't turn his complaints into power. You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye is a complaining motherfucker too, but he always make examples.
But he uses that shit to turn it into something else.
Exactly. Right. He turns that into music. So.
Yeah.
He all right, just talk about it. He's just gonna show you.
Wale, that was a good one. Wale is an interesting guy in the industry. Because I look at Wale, like If my personal opinion, if Main Man stayed on that Lotus Flower Bomb wave and stayed consistent with that, I think he could have reached like LL status with like women's songs and shit like that. Oh my god, the potential was there. Like I
It's
seen I
always
seen
been
I
there.
seen Ross's vision while he had him.
It's
I was
always
like,
been there. It's just the way, like it's just the way that he's been presented and how he presents
It's,
himself.
it's the system that he's a part of. He
yeah,
signed to a label, left the label to sign to his subsidiary. So that's already bad business. Uh, he started out with a band. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? He started out with a band. He was like the Black Thought of his band.
okay, okay.
Signed to Maybach Music, and something changed about his aesthetic in that way. I don't think that Maybach Music was necessarily the best imprint for him to be a part of at that time, but he did what he had to do because the logistics spoke to it. But I think that because the game is so competitive, Wale just slipped through the cracks. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
anybody,
I
if
don't
anybody
know.
who
See,
knows, knows.
if he played more to being, that poetic weird guy and made songs that's just speaking his honest truth to women and shit like that, the motherfucker would have been like, he'd have been out of here. Like, I'm serious. He just had to he had to stay on that consistent wave. But the thing is to keep one up what you already accomplished. That's the hard part where you start competing against your own success.
Yep. And I think he probably peaked too soon. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I don't know. I just everybody get their time to shine, and he knew Ross was the boy to put him on. So
Was
he had
he?
a moment. Everybody had a moment.
I don't think that what he wanted anybody else was willing to offer, and Ross was like, all right, I'll get it to you.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Right.
I'm gonna have to dip out of here, fellas.
No, we
Okay.
can we can call it a wrap. We can call it a wrap. Is there anything you want to say, brother? Talk about your music, anything that you need to share, your website,
Some links.
social.
No, nothing really. Just check me out on SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram is down right now, but follow me on Twitter. I'm there on there all the time, tripping. Just being myself, saying what I say.
Dope, dope.
At Lyrical Travesty. I'm same thing. You can add me as a friend on Facebook at Lyrical Travesty. Um, all my social medias are consistent. I'm not on Instagram, but just Twitter, Facebook. I don't really do all the other social media platforms. Like I just try to keep it simple. But I got my music on there. And definitely my aim is to drop something late this year. Like I said, I was working with my brother Dark Matter. We're going to get some music done and see where it takes us into 2023. So
Definitely.
that's what my main agenda is right now. Drop something in the fourth quarter and
Yeah,
the
this
year
was
off in a bang.
this was a
So I
dope
gotta get to work
conversation.
now. You know what I mean?
All right, man. I like this conversation. This was a good one. And
Definitely.
as always, for those who are listening, we are at the end. So remember the mission statement when you're striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. We are done
Yes,
here.
sir. Peace.